is Alpha Golf 5 Charlie Charlie, that's AG5CC. And I know we have Larry Marsh. Anybody else going to give us some help tonight?
Yeah, 5 EDP.
Thank Larry Marsh, and anybody else wants to join in, just join in for the answer or jump in there and see if we can figure it out. And we'll start. Let's see here.
Doubles with you, George.
Who's that?
Said there's another station doubles with you. I don't know if they're trying to let you know they're going to be in here also.
Hey, go ahead and say your call again if you want to. Sorry about that. Go ahead and say. Okay, we're going to start with the first question. Which of the following factors determine the characteristic impedance of a parallel conductor antenna feed line? Is it A, the distance between the center of the conductors and the radius of the conductors? The distance between the centers of the conductors and the length of the line? The radius of the conductors and the frequency of the signal? Or the frequency of the signal and the length of the line?
I'll jump on that one. It'll be A, the distance between the center of the conductors and the radius of the conductors. And I have a comment on that.
Go ahead with your comment, Mark.
Okay, the comment is if someone is making a home-screwed antenna, whether it's solid state elements or if it's a dipole or inverted V or anything on that order, if you have a 14 gauge, it's going to give you so much of a broadband, and if you go down less than that, get down into the 20 gauge, you can still use that, but your frequency is going to be narrower. You cannot get quite as broad of a signal. And if you go to a larger element, you get a wider bandwidth.
That's good to know, Mark. So you can fine tune it broad or narrow with the gauge of the line. Is that correct on what you're telling us?
Well, let's put it another way. Say that the 20 meter band, 14,300. Okay. Now, if you cut your antenna for 14,300 and you have a small gauge wire, it's probably going to be from say 290 to 14,310. But if you go to a larger wire or a larger element, you're going to have it down to 14,275 up to 13 or 14,325. It's going to broaden out your spectrum.
Good to know. I appreciate your comment and knowledge, Marsh, as always. Our next question. What are the typical characteristic impedances of coaxial cables used for antenna feed lines on amateur stations? Let me say that again. What are the typical characteristic impedances of coaxial cables used for antenna feed lines at amateur stations? Is it A, 25 and 30 ohms? Is it B, 50 and 75 ohms? Is it C, 80 and 100 ohms? Or is it D, 500 and 750 ohms?
AC5DR.
Good, Rodney, and good afternoon.
Is it going to be B, as in Bravo? AC5DR.
That is correct. It is B, 50 and 75 ohms. What is the typical, get my mouth working here, what is the typical characteristic impedance of window line, parallel transmission line? Is it A, 50 ohms? Is it B, 75 ohms? Is it C, 100 ohms? Or is it D, 450 ohms?
E is in Delta. KB90 list if I quit laughing.
I'm glad you got it squeezed in there, Wayne, and D, that is correct, 450 ohms. What might cause reflected power at the point where a feed line connects to an antenna? Would it be A, operating an antenna at its resonant frequency? B, using more transmitter power than the antenna can handle? C, a difference between feed line impedance and antenna feed line impedance? Or is it D, feeding the antenna with unbalanced feed line?
That's going to be C, the difference between the feed line impedance and the antenna feed point impedance.
Okay. Let's do this. That's correct. It's C. All right. Did I choose antennas? I think I did. I chose this section. All right. How does the attenuation of coaxial cable change as the frequency of the signal it is carrying increases? Is it A, attenuation is independent of frequency? B, attenuation increases? C, attenuation decreases? Or D, attenuation reaches a maximum at approximately 18 megahertz?
Well, that's going to be your attenuation increases. I got some kids that are impotent.
Denise, if you're out there, I know you probably need to start pumping on Wayne. He's probably fell off the floor and about to pass out. Actually, I'm not going to live that one down. Next question. And you were right, Marge. The attenuation does increase. Next question. In what unit is RF, radio frequency line, or feed line, loss usually expressed? Is it A, ohms per 1,000 feet, decibels per 1,000 feet, that's B. C, ohms per 100 feet, or is it D, decibels per 100 feet?
Would be D, decibels per 100 feet.
That is correct. What must be done to prevent standing waves on an antenna feed line? A, the antenna feed point must be at a DC ground potential. B, the feed line must be cut to a length equal to the odd number of electrical quarter wavelengths. C, the feed line must be cut to a length equal to an even number of physical half wavelengths. Or is it D, the antenna feed point impedance must be matched to the characteristic impedance of the feed line?
Would be D, the antenna feed point impedance must be matched to the characteristic impedance of the feed line.
That is correct. You're just showing off now, aren't you, Larry? Next question. If the SWR on an antenna feed line is 5 to 1, and a matching network at the transmitter end of the feed line is adjusted to a 1-to-1 SWR, what is the resulting SWR on the feed line? Is it A, 1-to-1, B, 5 to 1, C, between 1-to-1 and 5 to 1, depending on the characteristic impedance of the line, or D, between 1-to-1 and 5 to 1, depending on the reflected power at the transmitter?
That's going to be your 5 to 1 in there.
That is correct, Mark. Anyone have any comments or questions at this time?
I was going to make a statement.
Go ahead, Mark.
For those that are making some homemade antennas, please bear this in mind. say you're making a dipole, whatever frequency, in a horizontal position, your impedance is going to be one thing. And if you make it as an inverted V, it will change the impedance, and that will change your SWR.
Thank you for that comment, Mark. Next question. What standing wave ratio will result when connecting a 50 ohm feed line to a non-reactive load having 200 ohm impedance? Is it A, 4 to 1, B, 1 to 4, C, 2 to 1, or D, 1 to 1?
A, KI5, QQG.
Is correct. And QQD, I should know that. I'm going to guess. Is this, maybe I shouldn't guess. Is this it?
It is?
Good, I guess, right? And congratulations, you are officially a general out here.
Thank you.
The answer was correct if I didn't tell you that. Next question. What standing wave ratio will result when connecting a 50 ohm feed line to a non-reactive load having 10 ohm impedance? Is it A, 2 to 1, B, 50 to 1, C, 1 to 5, or D, 5 to 1?
Big D, faster there. That'll be 5 to 1 D.
Correct, Mark, and somebody doubled with you, and I heard them say 5 to 1 also, but I didn't hear who it was. But you're both correct. What standing wave ratio will result when connecting a 50 ohm feed line to a non-reactive load having 50 ohm impedance? Would it be A, 2 to 1, B, 1 to 1, C, 50 to 50, or D, 0 to 0? Would be 1 to 1. Is correct. What is the interaction between high standing wave ratio, SWR, and transmission line loss? A, there is no interaction between transmission line loss and SWR. B, transmission line is lossy. High SWR will increase the loss. C, high SWR makes it difficult to measure transmission line loss. Or D, high SWR reduces the reflective effect of transmission line loss.
B, Bravo.
Is correct. Next, what is the effect of transmission line loss on SWR measured at the input to the line? Is it A, the higher the transmission line loss, the more the SWR will read artificially low. B, the higher the transmission line loss, the more the SWR will read artificially high. C, the higher the transmission loss, the more accurate the SWR measurement will be. Or D, transmission line loss does not affect the SWR measurement.
That would be A. The higher the transmission line loss, the more the SWR will read artificially low.
That is correct, Larry. Does anybody have any questions or comments? All right. What is one disadvantage of a directly fed random wire HF antenna? A, it must be longer than one wavelength. B, you may experience RF burns when touching metal objects in your station. C, it produces only vertical electrically polarized radiation, or D, it is more effective on the lower HF band than on the higher band.
B, KI5QQH.
That is right, and I believe that was Nicholas, if I'm right. Is that right, Nicholas?
Yes, sir.
To hear you, Nicholas. And we're going to make this our last question because I do have to change over things to get Sherry ready for the net. Which of the following is a common way to adjust the feed point impedance of a quarter wave ground plane vertical antenna to be approximately 50 ohms? Is it A, slope the radials upward, B, slope the radials downward, C, lengthen the radials, or D, shorten the radials?
AC5DR. Is it B as in Bravo, slant the radials down?
That is correct, Rod. You are right. Does anybody have any comments or questions on the session here tonight?
P90.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Ordered you a bottle of blue pill.
Friends like you.
Can't be rolling on the floor.
That's all the questions and comments I'm going to take. So, we're going to let that be our last question, our last comment for me. And I want to thank all those who participated in that and all those listening. If anyone is interested in becoming an amateur radio operator, or if you're ready to test, we would like to help you with that. Please send us a message on our Facebook page or contact us through our website at k5brc.club. And if you're interested in ham-related stuff, please go to our Batesville Area Radio Club Facebook group and ask to join. And again, our website is Kilo Bravo 5 Romeo Charlie.club. I want to say 73 to everyone, and this is Alpha Golf 5 Charlie Charlie. I'll be standing by for the 8 o'clock net, AG5CC.
Good job, George, and congratulations, Jessica and Danny, on their general. 65 PLB, stand by for that.
Net control for tonight's 2-meter net. At this time, I've been authorized by the Batesville Area Radio Club to use their repeater for our weekly radio net. We meet each and every Monday night at 2000 hours or 8 p.m. Central Time for several reasons. To test our equipment, practice our skills, and to learn the proper procedures for correctly checking into a net. We welcome all properly licensed amateur operators, regardless of location or club affiliations, check into the net. Remember, this is a directed net, so please do not transmit unless directed by net control. The order of the net will be emergency or priority first, short of time, special announcements, echo link, and then regular check-in. At this time, I I will take any emergency or priority traffic. Please call AB5SC for net control. Well, that's a good sign, not hearing any. So we're going to move along, and we will now take any stations that need to check in short of time or those with no traffic. Short of time check-ins are those that may not be able to listen to the entire net, but want to be included in the net count. Those with no traffic can comment later by a recheck if they need to. Remember to give your call sign slowly and phonetically, then your name and location. Please call AB5SC or say net control.
AB5SC. Please check in Whiskey 5, Papa, Lima Bravo, Larry, Concord, short time.
AB5SC. Please check in Kilo 5, Papa, November, Papa, Paul Morfield, short time.
AB5SC. Please check in Kilo Delta 5, Romeo, Oscar, Yankee, Roy, and Southside, short time.
AB5SC. Sherry, please check in Kilo Delta 5, Bravo, Victor X-Ray, Mark, Mobile, and Southside, short time.
Net control. Go ahead. Okay, we'll hold up there for just a second and recognize our short of time. We've got W5PLB Larry, K5PNT Paul, KD5ROY Roy, KD5BBX Mark. And I heard someone else try to check in. Please try again at this time, AB5SC. All right, we're going to move right along then. You can check in at regular time if you need to. We will now go to any station that would like to give us some special announcements. Please call net control or AB5SC.
B5SC and 50.
Go ahead, Chris.
There was a station that you, on the last call, you doubled with. She was trying to check in.
Thank you for that relay, Chris. Station that last tried to check in, if you would please call again. I will try to stay off the line a second. Okay, Chris, did you hear a call sign from that person?
May have been Leanne trying to check in K5 LPL. Also, I've got an announcement.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Chris, your announcement.
Hey, just a reminder, we will be having our Wednesday night simplex nets. We run a 2-meter simplex net on the frequency of 146.440 at 7:30 Wednesday nights. Then at 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights, we run a 10-meter simplex net on the frequency of 28.325 upper sideband. So those times and freaks again: 7:30, 2-meter, 146.440, and then 8 o'clock, 10-meter, 28.325 upper sideband. Y'all come by and check in, say howdy. Thanks, Sherry. This has been 50.
Thanks, Chris. Are there any other people with announcements? Please call AB5SC. All right, not hearing any. We will now open the regular net with the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Is there a volunteer for tonight's prayer?
N50.
Thank you, Chris. Go ahead, please.
Now let's bow our heads. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. N50.
Thank you very much for that opening prayer, Chris. We must never forget the sacrifice and courage that thousands of American servicemen and women have made to protect America and promote the freedom of America around the world. We must remember our duty, our honor, and our country. Freedom is not free. All gave some, but some gave all. Therefore, in the spirit of American pride and patriotism, to uphold and defend the Constitution of America and to honor America's fallen heroes as they return home to a grateful nation by draping our flag over their coffins. Let us all place our hands over our hearts as we salute to America and her flag as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America. God bless our military past and present for their service and sacrifice. God bless our president, and please, Lord, bring home our POWs and MIA. Amen. If you're just now joining us, this is AB5SC, your net control for tonight's 2-meter directed net using the BARC's repeater on 147.270 with a PL of 94.8. When you call into the net, give my call sign, AB5SC, or say net control, then unkey. If you hear no other station, key and give your call sign, followed by your name and location. Please give your call sign slowly and phonetically. If multiple operators simultaneously try to check in, you will be asked to give your information again. If I am unable to hear you, then I will specifically ask for another operator to relay information. If any emergency traffic should arise during the net, use the words emergency or priority followed by your call sign. You will then be recognized and authorized to give your situation information. We will then help you in any way we can. This time, let's take some Echolink stations for their check-ins and comments. Please check in now, call AB5SC or net control.
Roll. Please check in Matthew. Victor Echo 4, Plant, Kilo, India 5, Mike, Foxtrot, Juliet. With you from Winnipeg, Canada.
Okay, you said this is Matthew from Winnipeg. Just to make sure I have your call sign correct, could you please give that again, Matthew?
I'm from Mountain View, but I'm coming to you from Winnipeg. Victor Echo 4, Plant, Kilo, India 5, Mike, Foxtrot, Juliet.
Good evening, Matthew. You got any comments for us on the net tonight?
No, I can say I'm enjoying the weather up north. It was 50 degrees the other morning, and it steadily rose throughout the week to about 80, 85. But I've been enjoying checking into net around the local area and repeaters, and it's my handheld while out on the road and making the best of being out of the country for a little bit. Back to you, Matt.
Matthew, we appreciate you taking the time out and getting a hold of us. We are glad that you're enjoying some good weather, and hopefully you'll send some of that down our way. We appreciate it. Check in anytime. Are there any more Echolink stations? Please check in now.
AB5SC. This is KC9 UVP, Martin, Greenway County, Wisconsin.
Good evening, Mark. Go ahead and give us some of your comments for tonight.
Well, good evening, Miss Sherry and everybody else on the net. We're having a little bit of a warm spell above normal average temperatures. Going to be back up in the mid-80s for pretty much the rest of the week here. Just trying to get everything kind of done at the shop. Going to do a little trip at the end of the month or the beginning of next month. Going to come down and see good folks down there again. Other than that, please check in my wife, KC9 UXC, Deb. And that's it for me. So thanks, Lex. Thanks for you. God bless. KC9 UVP.
Well, thanks for checking in, Mark. And I am putting Deb down here by proxy. You have a safe trip down here, and say hello to all of us when and if you can. Are there any more Echolinks to check in? Please call Net Control or AB5SC.
KB Net Control. KG5 VPN. James Turner.
Good evening, James. We're glad you were able to check in with us. Do you have any comments for the net tonight?
KG5 VPN. I just want to say, trying to get equipment or stuff I'm interested in buying this weekend over at the Huntsville Hamfest, trying to get my list all finalized. And that's about all I've got for tonight.
Appreciate you taking time to check in with us, and hope you have a good list and a big, deep pocketbook and a safe trip over there to the Hamfest. Get lots of good stuff, and you can tell us about it on the next net. We appreciate you checking in. Any more on Echolink at this time, please call Net Control. All right, looks like we are ready for a regular check-in. This time, please call Net Control for regular check-in.
Net Control, please check in Kilo India 5, Kilo Echo, Kilo Emma, Alpha.
Net Control. Check in Whiskey Bravo 9, Foxtrot Zulu Uniform. Marsh, Pleasant Plains.
Net Control. Please check in Alpha Charlie 5 Delta Romeo. Rodney, Strawberry.
Please check in Kilo India 5, Quebec Oscar Sierra, Ithaca, Easy Check.
Net Control. Please check in Kilo Golf 5, November Hotel Delta, David Equipment.
Net Control. Please check in Kilo India 5, Echo Delta Papa, nice and neutral.
Charlotte.
All right, catching a break there. Let's go ahead and call off who we have. Make sure I haven't made any omissions or need corrections. We have KI5, KEK, Emma, We have WB9FZU Marsh, AC5DR Rodney, KI5QOS Ithaca, KG5NHD David, K5GNT Greg. Let's go ahead and start with some comments. Let's take Chris N5CRL. How about some comments for tonight for us, Chris?
Quebec Hotel. Nicholas, evening shade. Short time.
All right, Nicholas, I walked all over you. Give me your call sign again, please.
Kilo India 5, Quebec Hotel.
Thank you, sir. Now let's go back up to Chris N5CRL for his comments for tonight's set.
Sherry, and thanks for picking me up, and hello to all the group, and congratulations to Deborah and Ithaca and Nicholas for their license passing and upgrades, and hope everybody's having a good week, and had a good weekend, and just keep everybody in prayer. Looks like we got a couple days of good weather, so we're enjoying that. And God bless everybody. Good to hear everybody. And with that, I'll turn it back to you and Sherry. Doing a good job, and get with me after the net, and I'll take the information and make sure my wife K5LPL Leanne's on the list. And with that, I'll say God bless in 73. This is N5CRL.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, I've got Leanne on there. Do you know if she wants to make any comments for tonight? I can take her next.
Don't know, Leanne, if you're listening, if you want to try to make some comments, go ahead.
Okay, she did check in at short time. I just kind of walked all over her. Wanted to give her the opportunity in case I missed it. All right, it looks like we are in for our schoolgirl Emma, KI5, KEK. How about some comments for tonight's test?
This is Kilo India 5, Kilo Echo Kilo. Thanks for taking me in tonight. Yeah, we started school today. First day in 7th grade, junior high. Pretty exciting as junior high, meaning I'm in junior band also. Also more exciting because we get to play at football games sometimes. Yeah, but then this is her first year of middle school, so she's kind of scared about that. And Caitlin is officially in high school. She's in 9th grade. I don't know how she feels about that. She wasn't very excited to get back to school, and usually she is. I think she's kind of mad because she's not in the middle school anymore, and her favorite teachers are in the middle school. And most of my teachers know me pretty well because they had her when she was in 7th grade. Once you get my little sister Ruthann, checked in by proxy. Her call sign is Kilo India 5, Mike Lima Bravo. And then get my mom also. Her call sign is Kilo India 5, Mike Kilo Zulu, I think. So I guess I'll hand it back to you. I don't think I have anything else to say. This is Kilo India 5, Kilo Echo Kilo.
Yes, I've got Ruth Ann down here, and I've got your mom, Amy. I think hers is KI5. It can be like a Cadillac. I can always remember that one. Well, it sounds like you had a good first day of school, and hope the rest of the week goes well also. Let's look at Mr. Marsh here, WB9FZU. How about your comments for the net tonight, Mr. Marsh?
Not too many, Sherry. I'm still laughing a little bit from the other session. But no, real good. I got to do some checking with Beth here pretty quick. And I talked with my brother today. He's down in Florida. he's planning on taking a trip up here. Maybe I can get him to meet some of the people. Anyhow, that's about all we had. Renata, she's got some problems down there. And hopefully everything will be worked out. Anyhow, Mark, back to net control, WB9MC. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments tonight, Marsh. And, you know, if your relatives want to test anytime and get that license back into back square and good, we can always test it. We appreciate that. We are ready for Rodney, AT5DR. Go ahead with your comments tonight, Rodney.
Good evening there, Sherry and the rest of the net. I'm glad to be able to check in. Got a really good net going here. If you don't mind, please check in my dad by proxy. His name is Owen, Oscar Lima Echo November, and his call is Alpha Charlie 5 Delta Sierra. Anyway, I don't have that much. I appreciate everybody in the club and all those who do things to keep it going and improving. And I'm so glad we have so many members now. Maybe we can, anyway, AC5DR.
Well, thank you, Rodney. And I do have your dad, Olin, in here by proxy. And, yeah, I agree with you. We are getting some new members in here and bringing some new lifeline in there. So that's always good. We appreciate our new members. Looks like we're ready for Miss Ithaca, KI5, QOS, Queen of Sugar.
This is Kilo India 5, Quebec Oscar Sierra. Hi, Miss Jerry, and hi, everybody else on the net tonight. Welcome. We're glad to have you. I started school as well today, first day of 10th grade. And congratulations to Emma for 7th grade and to all your sisters. I'm actually in band as well. I've been playing the clarinet since 6th grade. And I can tell you right now that playing in football games are going to be a lot of fun. If you start marching, that's going to be a lot of fun. Just be prepared to work out because you're going to need it if you march. But today was good. It went faster than I expected for school, and it was kind of hectic. But we had a lot of fun. Most of the teachers were nice. Some of them you can tell were going to be strict, but they were super cool. And yeah, that's about it. But please check in both of my grandparents by proxy. My grandma is KI5QQG, and my grandpa is KS5TL.
Okay, KF5TL is grandpa, and I got Deb down. And we are glad you had a good school day for the first day of school. And if you and Emma are playing any of those football games or anything when school's kicking up and in full gear, let us know on the net or the Facebook page or the website page where you'll be and when you'll be there. We'd all love to hear you and see you perform. Congratulations on being in band for both of you guys. All right, we are ready for David, KG5NHD. David, go ahead with your comments for tonight's net.
Good evening, Sherry. Thank you very much for doing that tonight. Just like usual, there's not a heck of a lot going on down here in equipment. Once in a while, we hear a truck go by and hit the Jake brake. That's about the most exciting thing that happens here in town. Let's give it back to you, KG5. Thank you.
We appreciate those comments, and I'm laughing right here with you. The big booming town of Southside, yeah, the Jake break at night really kind of wakes you up or jars you out of a TV session. What was that? All righty, looks like we are ready for Mr. Charlotte. Greg, K5GNT. How about your comments for tonight, Mr. Greg?
Well, good evening, everyone. It's K5GNT, Greg. Miss Sherry, could you also proxy Tina in K5TNG. She asked me, she's sitting right down here, you got any comments, Tina? She said, nope, but she's up and about. We've been sick for the past month, or I have, and Tina, she got sick, she laid in bed for 5 days, and she jumped up. But then she had run out of fever here last few days, so she is feeling better. So if you can, remember us all in prayer. And it does feel good to move around and do stuff. Like I said, it's been a month for me. But I am getting back into gear. I would love to go out to eat. Maybe we can get the club back together and get our monthly regiment where we go out and share some food. I would love to have a barbecue sandwich right now, or brisket or something. Maybe we can go to Cowboys or something. But anyway, Miss Sherry, everything's going fine. We're making it. And I am really, really proud of Debbie and Ithaca. That was exciting. And boy, they worked for it too. They worked for that general. They did not memorize nothing. They didn't do any of that cheating. They studied. And the testing proved it. So it was real exciting to see someone take a test and only miss 4. That is just wild. Anyway, yes, they were added to the FCC website today. So I sent them a text. And they were proud to receive the text. It was a happy day for them for getting their license. That's all I got, Miss Sherry. Hopefully in the next couple of days I'll be back to 100%. So let's knock on wood. You guys have a good night. Good to hear everybody on. K5GNT.
Well, thanks for your comments tonight. I think when George passes by again, I'll kind of knock on wood when it's close enough. But we are glad you are improving, and sorry to hear that Miss Tina is having a little medical problem there too. Maybe she will rebound quickly, and you'll both be on the mend and 100% as soon as possible. We hope so. All right, looks like we are ready for Nicholas, K-I-5-Q-Q-H. How about your comments for tonight, Nicholas?
Well, I guess I'd just like to talk about my first day. It was okay, I guess. I found a lot of new friends I could make into friends. And one of my best friends moved. Don't know where he moved. Think he said Jonesboro. But it was well, I have nothing else to say. So KFI,
Well, I appreciate you checking in for the net tonight, Nicholas, and we hope you have a good day. Maybe you'll get in contact with that old friend and make some new ones there. It sounds like you got a good start. Have a good rest of the week at school.
WB9FCU.
Go ahead, Mr. Marsh.
With Greg there, if he's still listening, tomorrow is my big for Reuben, and it's interesting. It's about 11:30, quarter to 12. Okay, WB9FCU. Thank you.
It sounds like Greg may have a luncheon date there. He had my mouth watering when he said Cowboys barbecue a while ago. I haven't had one of those in a while. All right, looks like we're at the bottom of the list, and we are taking regular check-ins at this time. If you'd like to check into the Monday night 8 o'clock net, please call Net Control or AB5SC.
Net Control. Please check in Kilo India 5 Echo Delta Papa, Nathan and Newport.
Control. Check in Kilo 5 Alpha November Juliet. This is Alan out with KC. P5SC. Kilo
Kilo Bravo 9, Echo Lima Sierra, and by proxy, Miss Denise Keel, India 5, Golf Romeo X-Ray, both in Sydney.
MSC. Check in Alpha Golf 5, Charlie, George, Southside.
All right, looks like we're at a lull there on the transmission. So let's go back up here to Nathan, KI5 EDP. How are you doing in Newport, Mr. Nathan?
How are we making it over here? Enjoying these temps a lot better than they have been, but I don't have much tonight anyway. I'll get off here and let y'all get back to it. KI5 EDP.
Appreciate you checking in, and I thoroughly agree with enjoying these cooler temperatures. It's been wonderful. It looks like we're ready for Mr. Allen, and that's K5ANJ. How about your comments for tonight, Mr. Allen?
Well, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a blessed day today. Sure missed me at our last meeting. But my wife and I both, Julie and I both, had COVID-19. Was sick for several days there, probably about 10 or 15 days. But thankfully, the Lord has helped us through that, and we are better now. About 10 or 12 days out of quarantine, so glad about that. But appreciate everybody on that. Thank you, Miss Sherry. Hope you're having a blessed evening. This is K5ANJ.
We are glad that you and Julie are feeling much better, and you and so many more have been on the prayer list. Mine and everybody here that we know about. We've had a lot of people sick down with this COVID, and we hope that you're all on the mend and running 100%. Looks like we are ready for Mr. Wayne, KB9ELS. How is sugar tonight?
Evening, Miss Sherry, KB9ELS. Chris, look at your messages. I got my last support in for my tower today. Got the concrete all done. We've been busy. Bought another 4-wheeler. Got my certificate in for 13 counties. And I just worked Greece, Germany, and Australia. Boom, boom, boom. And Mr. George cranked me up tonight, but I did order him a bottle of blue pills so he can get it right. Thanks, Miss Sherry. KB9ELS.
Wayne, you are so bad. I came by the hallway on part of that, and everybody was laughing. So it's a good evening on a Monday night when everybody's having that much fun. It looks like we're down here to the other half. Yeah, me, he's standing here. You're me.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Glad to get checked in the net here. Wayne, I just wanted to put my hat in the ring. I hear there's a Wiener Award going around, and I just want to throw my hat in the ring there. I'm trying to get an award, my first award, so I think you got a pretty good start on it. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well tonight, and I'm glad to hear everybody's that's been sick is on their way to getting better. Really glad to hear that. And I guess that's about all I have right now. I'll turn it back to Miss Sherry before I say something else. This is AP5CC.
I just don't have any comments for Mr. George. But anyway, before we call again for more check-ins, I would just like to remind everybody that our little children have started back to school, and buses are going crazy and busy, and new routes and new campuses to go to, and moms and dads, some are crying, some are happy. Just depends on how the summer went, and just kind of want to remind everybody to say a few extra prayers for all those on the road. Give yourself a little extra time traveling to and froing and getting and doing and all that good stuff, and just enjoy it, because it'll all slow down, and we'll miss these fun and fast times. All right, we are having another call for the Monday night regular check-ins on the 2-meter net. Go ahead and call Net Control or AV5SC.
Check, KB9011.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Glad you said something about buses. Folks, you need to stop for the bus when the red light comes out. It doesn't matter if it's a 4-lane or a 2-lane. Look up your Arkansas state law. You're supposed to stop whether it's 2-lane or 4-lane. It doesn't matter. Thanks, Jerry. KB9011.
Wayne, I'm glad you brought that up because we live out here on the 4-lane on 167, and so many of these new young drivers are excited to be out on the road, and they forget to do that, especially with the new school season and everything. And the old ones too, you know, they just kind of think everything's up to them. But anyway, yes, we do need to stop those school buses and keep those children safe. All right, looks like we're going to have last call for the Monday night check-in. Go ahead and call Net Control or AV5SC.
AV5SC. Please check in WD50 Adam and Ashland.
All right, we got a lull there. So, Adam, you are the man of the hour. Go ahead with your comments for tonight's net.
Well, thank you for getting me. I just got in here and sat down. I've been listening for a while. I was outside cleaning the pool and doing some stuff there with an HT on the during the pre-net and all that. And while I was out there, I noticed my 160-meter antenna was down on one end. So it could be the problem y'all were talking about in the pre-net, and I may need to have Wayne get some of those pills for it. But anyhow, I just want to throw that in there. It's good to hear everyone. I enjoyed listening, and glad I could sneak in at the very end here before you close the net. So back to you. This is WD50.
Glad that you took time and got checked in tonight. We appreciate it. And we hope all those pretty little girls of yours have the rest of the week of school good for them. And hope they're safe. All right, let's see. Before closing, let's go to review. That's catching on. Let's review the announcements made tonight. I believe Chris reminded us that Wednesday night we have a 2-meter simplex net that is at 7:30 on Wednesday night. It's 146.440. And following that, at 8 o'clock, there's a 10-meter. It's at 28.325 upper sideband. So if you can catch those on Wednesday nights, we'd appreciate it. Chris is so dedicated and diligent to get those out for us. And, you know, you never know when you're going to need that simplex. And let's do some practice work on that. Okay, is there a volunteer for the closing prayer? Thank you, Chris. Please go ahead.
Jesus, we thank you for this day and allowing us to have this net. We ask you, Lord, to be with everybody that checked in tonight and be with those that couldn't check in. Lord, we ask you, Lord, for healing for all those who need healing and comfort to all those who need comfort. And we ask you, Lord, to give us a good night, rest of the night, and a good week. And we ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen. 5-0.
Thank you, Chris. And let me go ahead and give you some information. It looks like before we actually close up shop, this is report 6. We've got 29 check-ins, 40 minutes, 1 piece of traffic. Are you there?
Hey, copy report number, did you say 6?
That's correct. Report 6, 40 minutes, 1 piece of traffic, 29 check-ins.
Okay, report number 6, 1 piece of traffic, 40 minutes, 29 check-ins. Thanks, Sherry. And 5-0. You and George have a good night.
Chris? All right, we're going to close up the Monday night session. We appreciate it, and thank everyone for dropping by the Monday night 2-meter net. And we hope you all have a great week, a good school week for all the children out there. Hope to hear from you next week at the net. At this time, Net Control will return this frequency back to normal use. 7-3 to all, AB5SC.
Good job, George and Miss Sherry.
Anybody still listening, thinking about going down to Huntsville, DX Engineering and MFJ is pulled out of the Hamfest now because of the COVID. KB91.